Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about the splice. I ran out of room on my memory card. So anyhow, Columbia River Knife and Tool M16-03z review. Excellent knife. As we've talked about, philosophy of use, probably an everyday carry or perhaps an emergency defensive knife, a tactical knife perhaps. Size, 3.5 to 4 inch blade, 4.75 inch handle. Weight just under 4 ounces, 3.55 ounces according to the manufacturer. Quality, good quality, OS4 steel blade, stainless inserts, zytel handles, teflon bearings, the auto lock system, which they claim turns it into a fixed blade. Good ergonomics with the checkering on the pivot screw, as well as the thumb stud and the stippling on the back of the blade, and the finger flipper, which turns into a groove. Also the grooves here in the handle. The handle feels nice in hand, in my opinion. Feels good in hand. Again, my hands are medium size. Your mileage may vary. If your hands are large, you might have a little bit harder time gripping this knife if you're just huge-handed. But I think this will fit most people's hands. Durability, to all accounts, durability of this knife is excellent. I know a guy, I won't give his name, but he's in the Army Rangers, or was in the Army Rangers, had one of these Columbia River Knife and Tool M16s, carried it with him on every single jump he did in Ranger school, and as he was in Rangers, every jump he did. He carried this knife, clipped it to his equipment on his chest so he'd have it in an emergency situation, and his is in excellent condition still. So on all accounts, durability is excellent. I've been carrying this knife here, this particular version, about 6 months, and you can see it's got a little bit of wear here on the clip just from rubbing on things as I walk around. And one side of the blade, the finish has a little bit of discoloring. I doubt you can see it, but there are some spots of discoloring in the blade. Bead blast finish. And since I noticed that discoloring, and I applied a light coat of rim oil to the blade, and I haven't seen a problem since. Along with the durability, good quality steel. The OS4 steel, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I think it's as far as I've seen, it's an excellent steel. It holds an edge well, I will say that. It doesn't seem to have any tendency to be breakable. I mean, I've banged this knife fairly good, and I haven't seen any, chipping or anything of that nature. It hasn't chipped out on me, but it holds its edge well, and the knife came sharp, which is excellent. All knives should come sharp. The knife came extremely sharp. I've since sharpened it even more, and this knife is razor sharp. You can see that edge reflecting there. Beautiful edge. It's about a 20-degree grind, which I like. I like the 20-degree grind. It's a good angle grind. You can see here the blade is a spear point, which some people don't like for utility work. I find it to be adequate for utility work. I don't think I need a lot of belly. Some people like more belly. Nut and Fancy's a big fan of more belly in his blade, but I think this particular spear point has plenty of belly for anything I need to do, and I haven't seemed to get too much wear on the tip. But also, if you are, again, in an emergency defensive situation, that is going to be an excellent piercing tip. And the tip, since it is a spear point, only one edge, but you still have that almost dagger-like, extremely sharp tip. That tip will go into somebody. If you stab someone intentionally, that will go in, and this blade will go all the way in. No problems. It is a flat ground blade, and of course the grind starts halfway down, which, truth be told, it would be nicer if the grind started up here. But they've trimmed a little bit of they have a false edge here, so they've trimmed a little bit of the blade away with that grind, which lightens it, but also they can't grind the full blade in this direction because they've ground that way. So about half the blade is ground into that, which gives it a decent shape. You know, not necessarily the best for if you're gonna slice tomatoes or something, but again, that edge is razor sharp and it will slice perfectly fine. So I like the spear point blade. Not a big fan of the auto lock system. So anyhow, fit and finish is good, durability is good. Size I think is adequate for an everyday carry or an emergency tactical knife. If you're going to carry this as your primary tactical knife, you know, you might want something larger. You might want to go with the M21, which has a little bit longer and beefier blade. But for most civilians, civilian sheepdogs, another term that I've taken from Nut and Fancy, this is an excellent knife. This knife will stop a fight. However, is it the knife you're going to want to take to a fight? You know, probably not. If I'm going to a knife fight, I'm going to carry this. I'm going to carry my Marine K-bar. And, you know, you'd be stupid to take anything smaller. If you were going to a knife fight or to a fight, this is what you want. But unfortunately, we can't carry those in all situations. So for most civilians, this knife is an excellent alternative. Deploys quickly, durable. Deploy that, you're going to kill someone. This knife has the potential to be very lethal if applied correctly. Stabs to the face, stabs to the chest. You know, slashing cuts, has a good, you know, a good amount of belly for a slash cut. So excellent knife in a defensive situation, in my opinion. So anyhow, that is the Columbia River Knife and Tool M16-03z. A good knife, good durability, good size, good weight, good quality. I think excellent ergonomics and razor sharp blade. So this would be a good knife to purchase. I think it comes in just under $50. So this is also an affordable knife. I don't think it's overly priced. So anyhow, Columbia River Knife and Tool M16-03z. This is JC the Sniper signing off.